Hey everybody, welcome back to BobkeTV. One of the eternal questions of cycling is saddle height. Unless your saddle height is in the ideal spot, is in the perfect position, you potentially could lose some power as you pedal through the drivetrain. It's taken me many years to arrive at the most efficient saddle height for my particular physiology. Everybody's different. Everybody's pedaling motion is different. If you have a tendency to push your heel down at the bottom of the stroke, it's going to affect your saddle height. Crank length affects your saddle height. So let's assume that your saddle is level and the setback is right. How do you arrive at the correct saddle height? One rule of thumb is that you measure your inseam, and to do that, stand up against the wall with your socks on and your cycling shorts, and get a level up against your sit bones and measure that distance. Now you multiply that distance by 0.885. So inseam times 0.885, and that should correspond to the center of the bottom bracket spindle and the top of the saddle. I like a metal yardstick. This one happens to have millimeters on one side and inches on the other. So find the center, and what I do is I level my eyes to the top of the saddle, because if you're a little bit low, you're going to get the wrong measurements, or a little bit above. So I try to look straight across, center of the bottom bracket spindle, and mine is right about 79 centimeters. When you change your cycling shoes, it is possible that the difference, and when my saddle height is even 1.5 millimeters or 2 millimeters off, I can feel that it's different in my pedaling. But that has taken many decades to arrive at the exact sensation required for each pedal stroke. When the thickness of your cycling shoes is different, and there is a wide variety. Generally speaking, the thinner the better, because you get closer to the pedal spindle when you have a really thin sole. But nowadays with carbon soles, most top-end cycling shoes are within a very few millimeters of each other. But if I have been using a pair of shoes and they're a little bit thinner or thicker than the shoes I change into, I can feel the difference in the saddle height. That might not affect you, but the general rule of thumb, inseam times 0.885, is the center of the bottom bracket to the top of the saddle. How it feels is more important than the rule of thumb, than the gross generality of 0.885 multiplied by your inseam. How it feels is the most important, and that takes years and mile after mile after mile to figure out. But for a general rule of thumb, it's a pretty good place to start. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching these videos. Comment, how do you reach your saddle height? How have you come to your saddle height? There are a lot of bike fitters now, and good bike shops will be able to fit you pretty close. If you buy a bike in the bike shop, there will be a mechanic there, or best case scenario, there's a bike fitter there that's gone to school, that's had years of experience doing that. That's probably the best way to arrive at your saddle height. But let me know how you've arrived at that. I'd be curious to hear in the comments section below. Click on my face to subscribe. Click on the t-shirt for merchandise. Thumbs up. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks a lot, everybody, and enjoy every single mile.